Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're basically putting on our investigator hats and becoming digital detectives. Now, if you're tuning in, you probably already know that public court records hold an absolute wealth of information. But, let's be honest, navigating the system to actually find what you're looking for, it can kind of feel like a maze sometimes. Well, we're going to embark on a fascinating investigative journey right now, looking specifically at the state of Minnesota.
So, have you ever wondered how to uncover the hidden stories in divorce records? Maybe you need to pull a document for a legal reason, or you're deep into genealogical research, or you're just running a routine background check. Whatever your reason is, today we're going to discover Minnesota's best-kept secrets. And the best part, we're going to do it right from your computer. You're going to learn exactly how to properly and legally access this public data, absolutely free of charge.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our well-structured roadmap to take you from absolute beginner to confident researcher. 1. Uncovering MN divorce records. 2. The rules of public access. 3. Free online search tools. 4. Step-by-step search guide. 5. Troubleshooting and pro tips. And finally, 6. Ethics and final takeaways.
Starting with Section 1, Uncovering MN divorce records. Because before we start searching, we really need to know exactly what we are looking for. Simply put, a divorce record is the official documentation of a legal marriage dissolution. You can think of it as the official blueprint of how a legal union was broken down. It's packed with significant historical and personal details, things like how the property and assets were divided, the specifics of child custody and visitation arrangements, and of course, any financial support or alimony details.
Now, this right here brilliantly illustrates a crucial distinction. People mix this up all the time. You have the divorce decree and the divorce certificate. They are not the same thing. A divorce decree is the full, detailed judgment issued by the court. It's got all the intricate terms, the custody, the assets, the whole shebang. A divorce certificate, though, is just a short summary. It basically just confirms, yes, the divorce was finalized, and lists the names, date, and location. Knowing this ensures you aren't wasting time and you grab the exact document you actually need. If you want the deep details, you need the decree for sure.
Which brings us to Section 2, the rules of public access. Minnesota has specific legal boundaries, kind of the rules of the game, that we have to understand before we start sleuthing.
This quote is absolutely foundational. All records maintained by the judicial branch are open to the public for inspection or copying. That's straight from Rule 4 of the Rules of Public Access. I want to really emphasize this because it highlights Minnesota's strong presumption of openness. The state fundamentally believes in transparency, which is exactly why you and I can access these family court records in the first place.
But while transparency is the default, there are exceptions. Certain sensitive materials remain completely sealed to protect privacy. We're talking about things like juvenile delinquency records, adoptions, mental health commitments, sensitive financial statements, and psychological evaluations. So while you can see the broad strokes of a divorce case, a judge might restrict access to the highly sensitive financial or psychological documents tucked inside that specific case file.
All right, Section 3, Free Online Search Tools. Let's introduce the specific digital tools the state provides for our investigation. Now, what's really interesting about this is how the state balances access with privacy. We're looking at the two main systems you'll be using. On one side, you have MCROL, or Minnesota Court Records Online. This is the free remote web portal, the one you use sitting on your couch. But because of privacy laws, specifically Rule 8 of the Minnesota Rules of Public Access, MCROL does have limited document access. On the flip side is MNPAC, the Minnesota Public Access Courthouse System. These are actual in-person terminals located at the courthouse itself, and they give you complete electronic file access. Basically, when you're searching over the open internet from home, the state puts slightly more restrictions in place to protect people's privacy.
When you are searching from home using MCRO, your absolute best friend is going to be the Register of Actions. It's essentially a chronological summary of a case's history. It lays out a list of hearings, who the parties involved were, and the final judgment. Think of it as your primary roadmap for understanding the entire timeline of any case you happen to pull up online.
Moving right along to Section 4, Step-by-Step Search Guide. It's time to put this knowledge to work with a practical mock scenario.
Let's move to and see how this builds. Imagine we're looking up a hypothetical individual. Let's just call him John Smith. Step 1, you literally just visit the MCRO web portal. Step 2, you choose your search filter. Now, assuming we don't magically have John's exact case number memorized, searching by party name is going to be our best bet. Step 3, type John and Smith right into the first and last name fields. And Step 4, you just browse your results. You'll be able to view the case details, see the assigned judge, and read through that all-important register of actions we just talked about. Actually, I want to give you a very specific insider tip for the MCRO platform right here. If you aren't completely sure how a person's name is spelled, or maybe they have one of those complex hyphenated names, use a wildcard symbol. It's just the little asterisk icon. You literally just place it trailing after at least 2 characters in the search bar, and the system will instantly return broader name results. It's an absolute game changer for getting around tricky spelling variations.
Which brings us nicely to Section 5, Troubleshooting and Pro Tips. Because, let's be real, investigations aren't always perfect, and you might hit a few bumps.
So here are the most common hurdles you might face. First up, spelling variations. But hey, you already know the wildcard trick for that. Second, older cases. If a divorce was filed before July 1, 2015, you probably aren't going to be able to download the plain copies of those documents directly through the remote MCRO portal. And third, those Rule 8 remote access restrictions might block you from seeing sensitive data from home. If you hit any of these digital walls, don't sweat it. Your solution is simply to plan a quick in-person visit to a local district courthouse so you can jump on an MPAC terminal.
Let's also break down the financial realities here. Doing your digital sleuthing online through MCRO, completely free to view. But if you need official paper trails, that does come with small statutory fees. So MCRO online viewing is $0. But if you head to the courthouse for MNPA courthouse plain copies, it's generally about $8. And if you actually need official, certified court copies, say for a legal proceeding or a name change, those are going to start at $14.
Finally, we've arrived at Section 6, Ethics and Final Takeaways. It's time to ground ourselves in the real-world implications of your new skills.
So the crucial point is this. Wielding public data is a massive responsibility. These aren't just files. These records represent real lives, real families, and real histories. Now, while the Minnesota Government Data Practices Act gives you the absolute right to view this information, you must always ensure your searches are discreet, handled ethically, and comply with current Minnesota laws. You never, ever use public access to harass, intimidate, or unlawfully discriminate against anybody.
But we've covered the laws, the tools, and the step-by-step methods to navigate Minnesota's public record system without spending a dime. You are totally equipped now to be a savvy digital investigator. But I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. With literally decades of Minnesota's hidden legal history now at your fingertips, how will you ethically handle the stories you uncover? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Make sure to use your new skills wisely, and happy researching.